Welcome dear students. So in today's class for the subject Municipal Solid Waste Management, we'll be discussing another topic from Module 3. So Module 3 mainly deals with the collection of municipal solid waste. So we know that collection process is one of the important functional element of a municipal solid waste management system. So out of the total budget that is needed for any municipal solid waste management, 70% of the budget accounts for the collection. So it is a very important process, and collection just means the act of removing the solid waste from the point where it is generated to a point where it may be disposed, or it is a process wherein the waste will be removed from that source where it is generated or stored, and then it will be taken to the it is collected in containers or any cans, so that it can be transported to the point where it can be disposed. And the design of an efficient waste collection system requires considerations, very careful considerations, like the type of the container or the size of the container, where it has to be located, that is the location of the containers, etc. So these are all some of the points that has to be considered carefully before we design an efficient waste collection system. So normally when it comes to a single family household, small containers shall be used. Even for residential units, we can use small containers. But when it comes to commercial or institutions or a community living or industries, etc., we will require large containers for collecting the waste. And these small containers are usually handled manually, but when it comes to larger containers, it will be more heavy. So heavier ones will require mechanical handling, and the containers mainly we can say they fall under two categories. One is stationary, the other one is the hauled containers. That we'll be discussing later. But stationary means, so these are used for the contents to be transferred uh, to the vehicles, that is the vehicle that is used for collection at the site of storage. And when it comes to hauled containers, these are used for the contents to be directly transferred to a processing plant, or say a transfer station or disposal site, in order to empty before that container is returned back to the storage site. Whenever it comes to the characteristics that are desirable for a well designed container, it is like it should not be too expensive, that is it should be of low cost, and of course the size, the weight, the shape, and then the resistance to the various agencies like corrosion. It should be watertight, and also it should be strong and durable. So especially suppose if we take an example for a container which is used for manual handling one person, it should not weigh. So if it is too heavy, what happens after the waste is added to the container, it will be much heavier, because when it comes to manual handling, the person or the collector will have to lift the container. So in that case, it is desirable that the container is not too heavy. So there are some considerations that has to be taken into account when we design the container. Now also some other points that have to be noted are like they should not have a rough surface or sharp edges, and they should preferably have a handle or wheel, so that it can be easily moved. The containers may be moved easily from the one point to another point. So that these are the points that has to be considered. And also it should be strong enough or durable enough, so that it can resist any stray animals from ripping the waste that is being stored into the container. So all these points are to be considered. Now we'll see what are the different collection systems. So based on the type of waste, there are we can say that there are three types of collection systems. Firstly, the refuse collection system. That refuse means mainly it includes the household waste and the residential waste. So here the refuse collection systems mean the household waste will be removed from home. And then comes the commercial waste collection. So commercial wastes are removed using say the dumpsters, and this is one of the systems. Then there is a recyclable material collection, that is the collection of the recyclable material. So before the municipal solid waste is taken to the disposal site, there is always a processing of the waste, so that in this method of processing the waste or separating the waste, we can actually separate the waste which can be recycled or reused. So such materials also are collected, like the collection of the recyclable materials that are separated at the source of generation itself. So that is also one system. Now, when it comes to the classification of the collection system, there are two classifications. Firstly, based on the availability of the service, what type of services are available, based on that we can classify. And next, it is based on the mode of operation. So we'll see first one, that is based on the availability of service. So based on the availability of service, it can be classified as the house-to-house service, community bins. Then we have the curbside pickup and self-delivered. So house to house means here the waste collectors or the people who collect the waste will visit the residences, and where the waste will be already stored, and then they will collect the garbage. And normally what happens is the person who comes to collect the waste will be given a fee. The person will be given a fee for the service that is being offered. So this is what we call as a house to house collection. Then we have the community bins. Here what happens is the users will bring the waste to the community bins. So there will be a bin that is placed at some points which will be fixed already, and what happens is people will collect the waste from their from the point where it is generated, and then they will collect it and fill the community bins somewhere in the locality. And then the waste will be picked up by the municipality or anybody who is actually assigned to do this. So that is what we call as a community bins. Then there is a curbside pickup. So in this case what happens is outside homes, so there will be the curbs wherein some containers shall be placed, and then again the people will put the waste into these containers. That is what we call as the curbside pickup. And then comes the self-delivered. So here the generators will deliver the waste directly to the disposal sites or the transfer stations, or they will hire another person or a third party for the purpose. So when we say third party, it means the municipality or somebody else, whoever is assigned to do this. So these are the different classifications of the collection system based on the availability of the service. Now coming to the most important classification, that is based on the mode of operation. So based on the mode of operation, the collection systems may be classified into two types. One is the hauled container system, and the next one, the second type, is the stationary contained container system. So hauled container system is also we just represent it as HCS. That is HCS, that is a hauled container system. And then we have the stationary container system, that is the SCS system. So in the case of the hauled container system, the container will be moved to the disposal site, and this is mainly used for waste like arising from construction of some buildings, or even the demolition waste or the construction waste. And here also this is adopted when the generation rate of the waste is very high, for example in the case of an open market or so. And here when it comes to a stationary container system, here the container will remain at a particular site. It may be a residential site or a commercial site, and here the waste may be removed manually or mechanically. They may be loaded into the container either manually or mechanically. And in both cases what we have to see is the size of the container is very important, and even the utilization. Now we can define the hauled container system as it is the collection system where the containers will be used for storing the waste, and these are then hauled to the site where it is being processed, or maybe to the transfer station or disposal site. And then at these sites the waste will be emptied from the container, and then later it will be returned to the original point, or maybe even to some other location where it shall be used for collecting the waste. So this is what we call as a hauled container system. And the main advantages of the hauled container system are that, especially like I told you, it is very much useful when the rate of generation of the waste is very high. For example, in the case of a market area, open market area, etc., we know that the amount of waste generated is very high. So in this case, the hauled container system is more advised. And also here the containers, since it is very large, it is very much used for places where the generation rate is very high. And one more thing is that in this case it eliminates the spilling that are associated with small containers. So since we are using large containers, what happens when we use small containers, there is a chance that the waste gets spilled from the container. So that may be avoided in this case. So that is one advantage. And it is very flexible since we are using a large container. And the disadvantage of the hauled container system is that if the containers are not filled, that means the utilization will be too low. So that is one disadvantage of the hauled container system. And now coming to the stationary container system. So here it is a system where the containers will be used for storing the waste, and that remains at the point of waste generation, and then it is moved for collection. Except when it is moved for collection, the container will be there at the point where the waste is generated. So that is why it is called as a stationary container system. And the main advantages of the stationary container system are that better design of the collection vehicles will control the order and the flies. So it will have a cap, or the containers will be given a cover and all in this case, so that there will be no order problem, or the flies also may be avoided. And the service cost will be increased in this case. So this is also one advantage. And one more thing is that the time between the collection and the disposal will also be considerably decreased. And in this case, there can be better management of the waste. So these are the advantages of a stationary container system. And here the disadvantages are that it is not very flexible as in the case of a hauled container system, especially when it comes to picking of very heavy or bulky goods. And the waste, like the demolition waste, can even damage the delicate mechanisms that are adopted in this system. And large volume generations cannot be used in this case, because then we will not be able to store the waste. So these are the disadvantages of a stationary container system. So we'll be discussing the next topic in the next class. Thank you.